Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold once again. Thanks for tuning in. Hope the videos are helping you in your designing process. If they are, please go ahead and hit that subscription. Tap on that notification bell. Leave me a like. Drop me a comment by all means, good, bad, indifferent, or if there's other things in here that you think that we need to talk about, drop that in the comments down below. Let everybody know. Maybe I forgot something. Probably will. Also, if you'd like to donate some coffee to the cause, down around here there's a super thanks button. You are more than welcome to donate some coffee to the cause, and please share the content for others. Today what we're going to talk about basically for the majority of the video will be in our settings ribbon, the Halo builder, and we'll go through the three main tabs with all the commands in it to talk about what we can use and how we can use those to alter our halo in many different ways. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Let's grab our tools. Let's go to a ring rail, and let's grab just a ring rail. Now we'll go to gems, and we'll go to gems on ring rail, which will place a stone out there for us, and we'll just take this down just a little bit, 5 millimeter around a half carat, and we'll just go ahead and accept that. Now we want to select that stone, and we'll go to our settings and bring out our halo dynamic commands builder, right? So the first thing probably we want to do is get it so that we can see it a little bit better, so we'll just go to shading mode. Now in our dynamic commands, we have three main tabs here. We have our cluster, which basically will control all the gemstones with an extra handle to work with our offset here. We'll also have halo here, which is basically that. It'll be the halo, and the last is self-explanatory, prongs to work on prongs. But we have many commands in each of these tabs that we can go through. And I should point out at this point that I will be working in 3.5, but most of all the commands are the same. They may be located, like you might have some let's see, like in the halo where you have an extra drop down, right? So there's no commands under this tab here, but when you click on it, you'll have drop downs. And I believe channel controls are in there, maybe in bars are in there as well as a drop downs, but all the commands are pretty much all the same, so everything should be self-explanatory in any later update. Reason why I'm doing this is, well, we'll talk about that another day. So right now we're in our cluster. The first thing we should probably point out is if we just go ahead and pick a halo and then just right click accept it, right? The nice thing about the builder is now we can go back to our center stone, and we can or gem on ring rail, right? We can go back to that. We can edit that gemstone, and we can use any shape we want, and it automatically transforms into any shape that we may want a halo for. So you can go through and change all those up into different shapes and get all kind of different things very, very quickly. Even after you've set the halo all the way up the way you want it, you can still go back through there and change the layout by just changing the center stone, right? So we'll keep that. So keep that in mind. I mean, tons of options there, right? We'll just go back to the round and continue talking about everything. So we'll accept that round gemstone center there. And we'll go back to our halo, select our halo. It doesn't matter what you select. You can just go to edit, and it'll take you back to the dynamic command builder. So we have our cluster, which is basically gemstones, and we have these options here. We can change the size of our gems by going in here, and you can see it's going to change our halo because it's changing the diameter of the, where the stones are laid out, right? How big, depending on how big they are. You can also go in here and select gemstones by picking what you want, carat size or size wise or whatever. We'll go to ones, and you can just done. You don't have to just right click or left click off of that menu, and it'll take it. And you can also actually pick the exact size. So if you're in here and you're maybe doing princess cut and you want to pick the sizes and depths of your princess cut and everything, you can do all that by just unlocking this and then typing it in. I'm not going to do that. Well, I'll go ahead and do it. So now we can type whatever size we want in there, in the depth of our stone and everything, the percentages. But we're not going to do that. So I'm going to deselect by escaping everything, go back to my halo and go to edit again. So we're back in here. But that's how you can pick the size of the stones with these two options, or you can type them in by, you have specific stones you're using. You want to, total specifics, right? Here we have channel gems enabled. Many times, maybe you don't want the gems in there, so you can just click it, hide them, so you can work on the halo and do certain things. So keep that in mind, because we'll come back to that later. So you can click the stones on or off by just hitting that channel gems enabled, right? Spacing from center. That is this command here, or this handle here. So we can use our slider to open that up, the spacing further away or the spacing closer to our gemstone, depending on where you want it. Height offset will drag those stones off the channel, the bottom of the channel where they're placed, or you can drop them down depending on how or what you're wanting. It's just like working with the gems on curve, right? Basically, the rest of these commands are pretty much that. Height offset is this command here, clicking and dragging up or dropping it down. Gem spacing, the space of the gems would be this one here. So of course, it's going to change everything. So you want to get all this set up really before you drag in and out to that halo. But, this is just a way to work with the spacing. What I got? 1. Okay, that's fine. Gem spacing tolerance. This will also it just affects the tolerance you have between the spacing of the stones. I don't really mess around with that too much, but it will affect. Where's it at again? Tolerance right here. It will affect. See, you can see that the spacing is not totally accurate. We have a 1, so it could alter that. But I don't really mess around with that one too much. But maybe on occasion you need more specifics, and that would be the way to do it. Gem rotation. It just makes the rotation of the gems change around. Gem start position, right now we're here. Maybe you don't want to work right there. You want to work on a different end. Just click over and it'll change it. Oh, that's the rotation, sorry. Let's put that back at 0. Gem rotation here, where you want it. It'll take it to the 25, the 50, or the there we go with the gem rotation again. Let's go back. 50, or it's just that where your start position is at. Usually leave it at 0 myself, or 25. But that part really doesn't matter for this specific halo. For sure. Cornerstones, that's if we have squares out there, and even I've never really messed around with that, so I have no clue really what that does. Maybe even spacing or something. But anybody have any further information on even, drop that down in the comments. Really would like to know a little bit more about that one myself. So that's pretty much all for the cluster. The next one is halo, and this one's huge. The halo, of course, we can adjust anything in the halo, right? But the very first one, right? So right now we have a round, okay? So if we do a gem override, we select that, right? Now we can change that. Usually with this clicked off, everything's going to be tied to this gemstone, but maybe you want your halo a different shape than your gemstone. That's where this comes in, right? So halo override will actually give you the ability to be able to change your halo to different shapes. So maybe you don't want a round, maybe you want a square cut or a square halo, a square halo with a round center, and then you can start to adjust everything from here, right? Or maybe you want oval halo for a round stone, or you could go back in there, select your gemstone, change your gemstone to a different gemstone, oval, right? And then click on it, accept it, go back to your halo builder, edit. And with that activated, you can put a different shape halo on there for, you know, whatever reason being. Maybe your customer wants something special for some kind of event or whatever. You know, but it gives you lots of options in this respect. So there's tons. I mean, you know, with the just changing the halo for the center stone and getting that shape, and then having a different center stone and changing your halo shape, there's tons of options there. So we'll just click that off for right now, and we'll go ahead and go back to center round just to make it easy. Okay, so we're back tied to our center gemstone, whatever that may be, right? Okay, so we'll go back into edit the halo. We're at our halo here. We talked about the halo override. Halo placement, this one is a very important, useful tool. We can drag it up or we can drag it down depending on where we want it at. That's the placement. Our halo angle is this one here. We talked a little bit about something like this in the last video, I think, as far as angling it, but maybe not. I don't remember. So the halo angle would be what angle do we want it to be at, and that offers even more options, right? Also, we can turn off our channel and just have the halo out there. And if we had our stones out, we would be able to dictate different shapes without any stones. And maybe you don't want the stones on there, you want to place the stones on, or you want to have no stones with certain types of designs of halo, which is pretty cool. You can do that by just clicking the channel, or clicking the channel off. And there's times where you don't want the halo, you want to just work with the prongs. You know, maybe you don't want the prongs or the halo. You just want to set this up for maybe a cluster, a prong placer, to do something like that. So these options are also in there as well. So turning on and off the halo, and turning on and off the channel. All right, we'll keep everything on for right now. Now our profile, we can go through here and click on any kind of profile that you have in your library, of course. So maybe you want something different. Let's just do this. So you can see that we have a lot of different options out here for the halo itself, what kind of design. And also what's really nice is maybe you want to edit that halo and make your own original designed halo. So we're able to do that. We could do that by just clicking on things and dragging them around, and you should see that's on the inside there. I don't know if you can see it right in there. Let's do it on the outside here. Maybe we want this bumped out a little bit. Maybe we want this one disappeared, you know, so there's all kind of halo options that we can do here as well. So you can design any kind of, did not want to do that, options, right? So you have a lot here that you can work with. Yeah, I mean, there's just, it's unlimited what you can do with it. It's just crazy. Anyway, if you want to keep this halo just for this design here, you would be clicking here. If you want to save this kind of profile so that you can pull it back up in your halo builder, you would click this one, give it a name, and it'll save it to your profiles library that you can pull it back up anytime you want. I'm just going to go ahead and deselect all this, and we'll go back to this one here. Keep on moving down. Profile height. That's this one here. Height and depth, how deep we want it, so you can drag it way down so it's in your channel, and then do a ring rail cut, and it'll update everything for you. So there's tons of things you can do with this. Maybe you want the halo up higher, and then you're going to have prongs coming down, or a channel coming in, or some kind of other design going on. You can do that as well. Profile height, shape, corner bend. Well, we don't have any corners in here, and I really don't use this one very often, but it'll be for more of your like princess cut, emerald cut stuff. Basically the same things. Our blend radius, outer blend radius, and our blend offset percentage. But I really don't mess around with this one so much. Maybe if I do a princess cut or a emerald cut or something like that, I might mess around with those, but not very often. Channel controls, right? Channel controls. First, let's go back to our channel and turn it. Well, not our channel. Let's go back. Channel, turn it on. Let's go back to cluster. Turn off our gemstones so we can just see the inside of our channel, right? So maybe you want to play around with the inside of this channel, right? So inside wall width will be this wall here. That's the wall overlap. Inside wall width right here. We can drag that out to make that wall thicker, right? Which will open up that, will make our channel smaller. But if you come back to your gems and turn them back on, it'll open it back up again. So, depending on what you're doing and what you want to work with, I just want to show what it's going to do to the inside of the channel here. So that's why I'm turning them off at the moment. Because sometimes you want to get in there and do something with this, right? Okay, so let's go back to our halo. So our inside wall width, that would be this thickness here. And you can adjust it with this one over here, moving it in, moving it out, right? Our outside wall width, I believe that's this one over here. That, of course, is going to make our outside wall width thicker. So if you want them both thicker, if your gems are out there, it'll automatically update. So see, there you go. It's keeping those, so you can do it with the stones out there, so you can get a little bit better look. Maybe you want to that wall thicker, this one thicker, but everything is going to update once your stones are in there, right? So let's drag this back in a little, something like that. And let's drag this one in a little too. Yeah, something like that will be fine, I guess. All right, so inside wall width handle, outside wall width handle, and then our sliders here. Now our wall overlap, that would be this one here. Wall overlap will open up that channel to give more space for prongs or whatever. So depending on what stones you're working with, maybe it'll lay them out. Maybe, let's see, let's drag it so it's way in there. You don't want something like this where the prongs are touching. You want to open that up a little so that your prongs have a little area there, so they're not going to be tied up during casting, and all that's going to be inside there, right? You probably want them out a little bit so that you have a little space in between each of the prongs. Okay, so that's very important. Wall overlap. Wall height, let's go back and let's go ahead and turn those gems off again. And wall height, that will be this here. You can draw it, drag it down, drag it up. And again, if you want to see where it's laying on your stones, just have your stones activated and it will change it. It's not going to move the stones. It's going to move that down or up. So let's go back to Halo. It'll drop that. See, it's not moving the stones or the prongs. It's just moving that channel up or down depending on where you want it, right? Okay. So let's go back to cluster, turn that off. Halo, and then down here, a wall overlap, wall height, a blend. Now this one is a pretty cool one. So let's take that wall height and let's just, for this video, to kind of show you exactly what it does. This blend, it's pretty cool because we can kind of control these for this blend here, this blend here, this blend here, and then that blend, right? So we can kind of make that more of a blend or less of a blend. You know, you could have it to where it's a point straight down, or you can add some softness to it by adding the blend. And you can see as I keep going, it kind of just makes a little wavy thing. So there's lots of options there, and different profiles are going to respond differently. So you're going to get different looks from different things, right? Depth, not exactly 100% sure what that one, there's no handle out here for it. So if anybody has any information on depth one, drop that in the comment. I don't, maybe it's the bottom. I don't think so. I don't think, I'm not really sure exactly what this one's doing. But there you go for everything that I do know. And then of course we'll go back to our cluster, turn on our gemstones again, and now we'll mess around with the prongs. But this time you probably don't want, you want to maybe work with the prongs where you're not really looking at the halo itself at the moment, or for some reason. But let's quickly go through here. Styles, you can go to auto. It usually, I think, defaults to auto, but you can go to prong, which is what it is. You can go to bar, and you have controls for those, and then you can go from to auto and to off where there are no prongs. Maybe you want to use a different command like your prongs placer to put your prongs out there, or other commands. Or you just want to individually place them for whatever reason. You can do that. We'll just go back to auto. Now, follow large gem. We have it. I think this is the default, but we don't have anything out there that they change. So, I mean, we don't have larger tapered stones, so there's really no reason to use this on this particular. Not very often do I use it myself. Profile, again, go to your library and you can change to the different profiles that you have for prongs. And then profile editor, of course. Now we have prong layout. This will change all your prong placements. Of course, if you do certain things, you probably want to go back and change your gemstones, because that's probably not exactly what you're going to be wanting. So you want to spacing. You'll need to, you know, maybe bump out depending on what you're looking for. You know, I mean, I don't know. Just really depends, right, on whatever you're looking for. But that's an option that you have. I'll take that spacing back to, well, not 0. We'll go to 0.1. Yeah, there we go. But you can change your prong layout with this here, wherever you want the stones. You know, like maybe you want 4 prongs. So then, of course, you'd want to go back in there, do a little spacing issue. So we'll go to spacing. We'll kind of maybe bump that out over a little bit, so those outside prongs are a little bit further apart. And then what we can do at this point, if you wanted to accept those, you can, you know, maybe you would definitely want to open this channel up a little bit, but you can maybe delete the prongs on the inside, keep the prongs on the outside, and then kind of replace prongs on the outside there. I mean, there's so much, too much to get into. So we'll just go back here, just to keep things moving. We'll design something a little bit later that talks about different styles. We'll play around with the halo for the next couple videos or something, doing different things to show different options that you have for the halo to get more comfortable with it, right? But so far it's not too difficult, I don't think. Let's see. Okay, so we're here. Meshed, you can take your prongs to mesh if you want. If you're going to bullion them all together, or if you're going to do a mesh repair. If you're going to do mesh repair, it doesn't matter. But if you're going to want to bullion everything together, you'll want to make sure that those are not meshed. Prongs height offset, pretty much everything else in here is the same as working with the prong placer, right? We have our height. We can adjust the height of them. There is one or two that's a little different that don't have handles that we'll talk about. Diameter. Let's see. Diameter. Yeah. Let's see. First one is height offset. Next one's prong dome. That one does have a handle. That's out here. If you don't want a dome, maybe your craftsman just likes them being flat on top or whatever, you can change that dome up however you want. The dome height, the taper's on the bottom here, so you can taper it wider or thinner. I wouldn't go thinner really, but to each their own. You have that control. Prong bottom arc. Now this one, what we'll do is we'll come back here to our halo and we'll turn off our halo so you can see this one. This one does not have a command on it, so let's go back to prongs. But what it does is for the bottom of the prongs, right? We have the taper at the top for the dome, right? Well, this is basically a dome for the bottom. So you can come in here. Where's it at now? Back to prong and dome amount. That's the top. Prongs bottom arc, right? So if you watch the edges of these prongs and we play around with this handle over here, you can see that it's creating like a dome on the bottom of the prong. So you could set that however you want. You could do a 2 millimeter, so that's really going to dome up there, right? Or arc. I'm not sure, but this one again, maybe there's some kind of really wild design or something that you're wanting domes on both sides of the prong, and you're going to have the prongs kind of like holding it by itself or something. You can play around with that, but most of the time I think it's just 0 because this is going to be attached to your halo, right? But you never know. I mean, you have that control, right? Prong type, normal prong, large prong, taking it from the large prong. This one I don't really mess around with too much. Prong diameter, that's your thickness, right? The overall thickness of the prong itself. We'll make it smaller or bigger. Nudge, we don't have a nudge out here, I don't think. Yeah, so you'll have to do, if you want those prongs to nudge in, meaning go in this way. So this prong goes this way, this prong will go this way. You'll be able to drag those either way. Maybe you want them further away from the stones or closer to the stones. There's all kind of options here that you have for that, right? So how deep of cut that's going to go in and how close they're going to be together, I guess. Prongs vertical location, that is the length of your prong. How long do you want the prongs? So you can make the prongs much, there you go, wrong direction, which would be this way here. So you can drag them down. You can also go in here and type in a -8, and it'll take them all the way down for whatever reason you may want. But basically it's just going to control that height, right? And there could be some reasons for controlling that, very, very much so. So let's see, we went through all that. Corner prongs, we won't talk about that because we don't have any corners out there, but basically it's the same thing as far as the controls up here in your other ones, except for the ones that are in the corners itself. And then we have the bar controls, which is basically the blend. If you go up here and select bars, you have control over certain areas of those. So a bar blend, that's the blend at the top. Maybe you don't want any blend, you just want them flat, or maybe you want a major blend. And again, you could type in any distance you want in there. And again, you can do it to the bottom. So this would be your bottom blend, having none or having some. And then bar blend edge. So maybe you want them flat or well-rounded. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so those are all the commands basically for the halo and what you can do with it, right? So let's turn our halo back on. Oh, wrong one. Bingo. All right. So we can continue to play around with our halo, right? And we'll go to prong here. And that's a pretty good setup for the most part. Got lucky on that. Now, before you really mess around, after you get your, I would say get your stones in order first and your layout of your halo. But before you really get involved in it, a lot of time, oh, wrong one. Back out of that. Yeah, okay. You'll probably want to put your head on there, right? And the reason being is because you're going to want to know where that head, after you get your head all set up, where that's going to lay out on your item, right? At least that's the way I do it. So the first thing I'm going to do, we already talked about the head builder and all 4 levels, and we designed something just using the head builder in previous videos. So check those out if you haven't seen those. But our rail count will just go to 1. And then now we can play around with that height offset, right? So it's going up something like that. And now we can go to maybe level 2, and we can bump that rail up a little bit. Maybe not so much. Maybe we'll go back to level 1 and bump that up a little bit more. What this one's doing is it's taking the entire head. It's taking the prongs and the base of the rail at the same height, right? So you have a little bit more control over it, right? And I'll change that rail profile real quick to something a little different, something like this one here, right? And you can do your angling or whatever, so, or bend and angle and all that. Like I said, we talked about this, so I'm not going to really go into deep detail on that. So let's just say this is what I want, and I'll just go ahead and right click to accept it, right? Now we can go back to our halo, and if we go to our halo, we can adjust where we want this to be, right? So we can move it in, or that's our inside well offset. Sorry, it's the wrong one. Let's go to our cluster there. There we go. And now we can move this in a little bit so we can set it up to where we can get the halo, where it's nice and tight, and our prongs don't go into our rail, right? So we can set it up something like this. We can go back to our halo. Maybe we want a little bit more angle on it. Something like that, so there's lots of things that we can do that we've already talked about. I'm not going to waste a lot of time going to rearranging this. We're just going to design something very quickly. I am going to drag this one all the way down, something like that, right? And we have some sharp edges there. We can always go back down to that blend, right? In our halo channel, right, and go to that blend and maybe soften those up a little bit so that they're a little more rounded there. That really depends on what you're going for, right? Okay, so let's just say this is pretty good for our halo. We'll set it up like that. Now we want to continue to put a shank on it and get some kind of design going as well. And we also, that's pretty thick, maybe we want to thin it out some. So there's lots of things here we can do. First thing would be, of course, is just go to your cutters, and all this is still parametric. So you can select that and hit enter, and it's going to automatically cut. And we can continue to go back to our halo, which will be darkened out over here. Where's my halo? Right here, halo. Just go ahead and hit edit, and we can still edit that. Let's just go to our cluster. No, let's go to our halo, and let's change this profile around to something back to what it was originally, something like this here. And you can see that cutout's still there, and we can take that, and we can also go to our center stone and change that center stone to maybe a princess cut, and everything is going to update with it, right? So pretty much any stone pear shape, it's going to update, right? Okay, so let's continue on. Let's go ahead and put that back to a round. Just so you know, I mean, you still have, so maybe at this point you want to go ahead and save it because you want to put different shanks on there or do different work. You could do it now, save it to your collections, right? So it'll cut down on a lot of work for you, right? So I'll accept all that. Now let's go ahead and continue. At this point, I think, well, I like this shape. I could bring that in more, but we'll just leave it here. Maybe you want to, add the shank at this point. So we'll just go to tools. We'll add an outside ring rail, and we'll go right away over here and just kind of change it up. I like the Euro shank, so I'm going to go to a Euro type design. This is kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and take this one here. And we now can determine where we want that top of that to go into our shank or into our halo, and we can also widen or thin this out. I'm going to take it out to 2.5. You've seen it in my videos in the past. I like things that go thud, not ting. And we'll take that. Now we'll just put a profile on there. Go to our profile placer, and it puts it up at the top. Maybe the first thing you want to do is maybe move this over to the side here, something like this. And I'll change that to a different profile just for fun. Let's see, something, I know which one I want, I believe. This one here. This one, right? And what we'll do is we'll mirror it, and I'll turn that one off. And then I will place another one by holding down Shift right down here at the bottom so that it locks it in at the half. And then this one, I'm going to bring this one into like a 3. I'm going to go back up here to this one and bring that into maybe a 2.5, something like that, right? And we'll accept that. So what it did is it took this one and this one and made them both 2.5. So they're both the same because they were mirrored, right? All right, and see what we got. We'll just go ahead and turn to wireframe here so we can see everything really well. And we'll go to surface 2 parametric. We'll select this. Oh, before I do that though, I'll back out of that real quick. I forgot to set my profiles to my outside ring rail. So outside ring rail, bing, and now it snaps them up there to it, so they're locked into this rail. I can't adjust the height. It does not even have a handle out there to do it. So now I'll accept that by clicking, and we'll go to sweep 2, this one, right click, and we have our shank out there, right? And I'll accept that, and we can continue to manipulate these if we wanted to by just clicking on the dots, whichever one we want to change up. So we'll open that up a little bit, make it a little thicker down there at the bottom, keep it at the top, so it kind of gives us a little design there on the sides and everything else, right? All right, so, and you can see that it's maybe just a little bit off there. So maybe we want to go in here, click on this, and we can just kind of bing that right in there because that's going to form with that edge right there. So you can even bring it out and bring it in even further. It just really depends on what you're trying to do, right? Okay, so let's say that's good. So we'll just accept that, right? Okay. Still, maybe you're thinking, oh, it's still kind of heavy. I don't want it that heavy. I need to save some. Maybe you could also hollow out these shanks, which we'll talk about in another video perhaps. But like last time, we can offset and make a cutout in here, right? For these stones, or for this halo itself, right? So let's try this way first. Let's go to and extract an ISO curve from here, and we'll change that to 180, so that's going in our U direction. And I'm going to go to ghosted view, maybe X-ray may be better, and I'll do that for all viewports, so that I can kind of see where those prongs are, right? And I'll just take this one. Do I have snaps on? Yeah, I do. So let's turn those off so I have a little bit smoother flow. We'll just do something. It's not going to give me a lot. I should have maybe made my halo a little thicker, which I could do by, let's just leave that right there. We can always go back to our gemstone, right? Edit it, and we can bring that halo, everything follows up with it, so we have a little extra room there, which is pretty cool. Right click, okay, and now that curve, maybe I didn't accept it. I don't know if I did or didn't. Let's click here. Yeah, maybe I clicked it off, but anyway, we can still work with it. So here's our halo. Let's go back to that extract ISO curve, select the surface, and it's putting it in that direction. We'll change it to 180. Now we can drag it up, maybe somewhere around here where it's going to cut. But we got to remember our, looks like our channel is way down here. Oh, I know what that does now. So I accept it. So let's go ahead and accept this. Let's take this, go back to our halo builder. It's turned off, so we'll just activate it. We still have total control. That depth thing right here, right, that I said earlier. You can see it's the depth of that channel, I believe. How deep that channel is. Wall height. Oh, the wall height is the depth of the channel. And then we can drag this one up, and you can see that is going upward, right? So our wall height right here, I want to be able to see it, so I'm waiting for that to disappear. We can drag that kind of up. And then our depth, the V there, if we look in here, wait for that to disappear real quick, you can see I can control the depth of that cut. It goes kind of into a V, right? So there we go. I forgot about that. So I'll just make it kind of flat across or whatever, right? So we have a little bit of space here now, right? A lot better space from our channel here to where we're going to be cutting out, right? Okay, so there's that. Let's take it back to our shaded view, and you can see we're up a little bit, but it's not covering our stones, so they're going to work out fine for us. All right, next thing we're going to do is on our halo here. I keep wanting to go to my quick command ribbons there, and they're not there because we're using 3.5. We'll go to scroll all the way down here, and actually from object, we have our dupe edge. I'm just going to take that and bring it over here, and I'm going to drop it right in there and select it. And I'm going to take this, and then right click, and then I'm just going to, while they're still highlighted, go ahead and join those together. It broke history, but that's okay. We don't really need it for the most part. Okay, now we have these, but we want to get a cutout on the inside, right? So what we can do is we can take this offset curve, right? which will give us an offset over here, or extract iso curve over here. And I said what we're going to do, offset it. We're going to offset it, but not to the outside. We're going to offset it to the inside, and whatever thickness you might want. I'm just going to take it to maybe a 0.67, and then I'll accept that right there, right? Now I have this curve down here, and we can do the same thing. We can offset that curve on a surface. So select our surface, which will be this one. Right click, select our curve, which will be this curve. And now I can offset it on our curve. I can't really see it right now. There it is. Okay, so we want to take it to about a 0.7. Let me see if I can. There we go. Okay, there it is. It's going on the up side of it, right? So that's not what we want. We don't want it on the outside. So we're going to back out of that. We want it on the bottom surface, right? So another way to do this, you know, I'm not sure that we can grab it, and let's try that offset. And I'm going to hold down Shift and Control and select. Yeah, it's not going to let me select that surface. Oh, wait, I did the wrong one. Offset, select surface, Shift and Control, select that surface, enter, and then my curve, and see if that will give me that option to bring it along the inside of that. And it's not really giving me the entire curve. It's just giving me kind of half of it for some reason. But there's ways around that. So we'll just escape out of that. And we'll give it some shading now. We'll select this curve. We'll go to our top view, right? So I activated my top viewport. We'll go to transform, and I'll take that curve and I will snap it to our C plane. I will project it down to our C plane. So where's that at? Oh, okay, here we go. Nope, wrong way. There, okay. So project down the C plane, which is right here. Click here, and I'll just go ahead and keep that other one. So I'm not going to mess, delete input. No, I'll just go ahead and say okay. So now I have that curve down here, right? Right here it is. Okay. So what I can do now is I can go to my curve, and I can go to my offset, parametric offset, and I can bring that one into a 0.7, which was the one above it, right? And then I can select it. Okay. Now I could project this to this surface, which would put it up there, or I can just kind of maybe drag it up pretty close. And it'll probably do pretty close to the same thing as if I didn't. So let's try this. So there it is right here. Let's go to our wireframe because we want to select that inside curve. If I can find it now. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So now we can go to surface, go to loft. We can select this one, not that one, sorry. This one on the inside that we offset, and then this one down here that we offset, and I need to have the command. Okay, select curves, this one here, and then hit enter. So it gives us that. We could do a closed. So it gives us that closed, I think. Let's put some, it did not. Or maybe I selected the wrong one. Let's find out. Let's hide this real quick. Nope. Okay. Let's actually hide that anyway for right now. Oh, I got a hide command. Okay, there we go. Hide. Okay. There. Be easier this way. Maybe. So we'll go to parametric loft. We'll go from here to here and just select it, and we'll just take it. We'll grab that, go to cap, and take it. So it's all parametric. We'll switch that to a cutter. Okay. Now we'll bring that back out. Okay. So now what we can do is we can do that Boolean. it's not touching those, so I'm not going to worry about this part. So we'll grab that, Boolean difference, this, right click, and now we have a cutout there. And it's going to be pretty close to, you can see it's almost touching, but not. So I didn't worry about it. If I really wanted it to cut, like this next step, you could just go ahead and join those together, Boolean those together, and it will cut both of them, right? So there you go. So at this point, my curves are starting to get a little out there and crazy and a lot. So I'm going to go to Super Select, grab all my curves, and change them to gray and hide it, right? Now, if I wanted to, just for sake of argument, if I wanted to, that loft, right? And turn on those curves because you need those curves. And then we'll take that. Oh, I need to hit show because it's hidden, right? So there should be, my curves are turned off. So I think I just turned them on. So there should be a curve here, right? So you can actually, you know, change that by holding down shift. You can make that cut different by removing that around, right? So I'm just going to back out of this real quick. So it should be back to where it was. Oh, it's not capped, so go forward. That's forward. This is back, 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 back. Yeah, there we go. But you can mess around with those curves to give you different widths and cuts, right? Is what I guess I was trying to point out. Okay, so we have this. Now at this point, I think I am going to go ahead and Boolean union this surface here, enter this surface here, enter, and it blew up. Something's not correct. Maybe there's, oh, there probably is because it has a seam. Our halo. So our halo's closed, it says, okay, and this is closed, but we're still getting some kind of messed up item there. So let's turn back on our curves here real quick. Let's go to our not our sweep, our profile placer here. Select there so we can get in here. And let's basically just drag this one back just a little bit. Still make sure that it's touching and everything. Maybe that was sharing a common area there. Not really sure. So let's try the Boolean union again. First surface enter, second surface enter, and there we go. So maybe it was sharing some kind of a common surface, but you do want to make sure they're connected okay. And you can go to your and turn off your, and you can see it's got that little cutout right there. So you're good to go. All right, now let's go back to shading, and we still want to maybe lighten this area or put a design in here. There's all kind of different ways, and we're going to talk about designing all different kinds of halo type stuff in the next couple videos. But for maybe this one, we'll try and keep it the same as we did with the halo pendant we did, you know, just a cutout, so we can talk about how to lay that out on the ring itself, because it's a little bit different. And then we can also go in and talk about different ways in making different kinds of halo stuff, right? This one's kind of a bulkier one, but again, this one's really not about the design. It's more about using the commands, right? So let's go in here, and from our front view, what I'm going to do is you can see I turned back on my curve. So this is that cutout at the top. This is that cutout at the bottom, right? Okay, no, okay. So we want to maybe find out where a 1 millimeter is on that bottom. So we'll select this curve here that we left there, right? I'll right click on it. We'll go back to that curve on surface. I'm going to change this one to yellow. Curve on surface. We'll select this surface, hit enter, and select our curve, enter. Okay, so Okay, right click, select surface, this one, not that one. This surface, right click, bring back that command, this surface here, right click, this curve, right click, and we should be able to adjust that curve. And it's kind of not really, oh, maybe it is. I'll accept it. Let's see. It's only doing this side and this side. It's not doing up in there for some reason. So let's go back to this curve. Maybe I can, this group, and we'll edit. Maybe I need to make it a little thinner to get it. No, it's not going to go all the way around. No big deal. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. And let's see. We'll select that curve. And I am going to bring that curve up by, I don't know, 0.57. Okay, so there it is, right? And I don't really need this curve. I just want it as a reference point. So I'm going to hold down shift to make it bigger so that's on the outside so I can see it. Now I'm going to select that curve, change it to yellow, and this one up here, I'm going to change that one to yellow because that's our area that we want to operate in. That's what we got to play around with. All right. So let's go over to our circle and let's just put it at F4, hold down shift, and we'll click, we'll take it, we'll put on our points, and we'll just make a little heart shape. And I'll accept that, right? And now I can play around with this. Oop. Wrong one. This one here, I can hold down shift and it'll move in all directions, or I can just pull it out to 2D it. Doing the same thing here. So I have total control over this curve, right? So here, let's bring this up. And you can kind of see now where we need to place it at, right? We want the top not to go higher in here. We want the bottom not to go higher in here. So those are the commands that we have to play with. So first, let's kind of play around with it to try and get it in there. We can turn it to different shading to whatever works best. We can go to here. There you go. So kind of right here. There we go, where it's not going up above that and just inside those two curves. Right. Okay. So that's what we want, maybe, we'll say. And then we'll just kind of pop it out somewhere around here, right? Now we'll go to transform. We'll go to polar array, and we'll change that polar array to our Z direction, right? So it goes around our halo. But you can see that these, are going to be all the same. Maybe you want this one to be a little bit bigger or smaller or whatever, right? First thing we want to do is kind of set these up where we want them. You can see, dude, now they're not, the number is not correct. I'm just going to put 2. Okay, so basically 1 on each side, but that's not where I really want them. I'm going to play around with this angle. So this one will stay here, but our 1 will move around to the other side. So here it comes, and I can put it where I think I want it. Maybe something like right there, right? Maybe a little bit further over, depending on where you want it. That's totally up to you. And now I'm going to go ahead and accept those. Right. And now this has a grouping, right? But we can ungroup it and it will not break history. But what we're going to do anyway is break histories because we want to manipulate this one because we want it to maybe go more with this depth or whatever, right? So now I'll just bring this one down and we'll go ahead and do a little manipulation here. Now this one here is not going to affect it, but this one here will alter that taking it out of a sink, right? And if I click here on Gumball, which we talked about, go to Object, we can kind of see it's really just not setting it up where we want it, right? So let's take it back to C-plane. Now there's all kinds of ways to change our view, change our C-plane, all kinds of things. I mean, actually, if we wanted to, we could just select this because it's planar, or it should be planar, and go to our surface, right? And go to planar surface. It gives us a surface, right? Which is really cool. And then we could just go down here, command line, type C-plane, right? And then hit enter, and we can say to surface right there, and enter, right? So now we need to set it up. So we'll just go right down here to turn on our snaps, down here to our point, and now it's set. Our C-plane is set up to that heart planar surface, if that makes sense, and I'll accept that. Okay, so basically now when I go to that curve, I can use those commands to make them bigger and smaller, and it will go in the directions that I want. So maybe I want this one a little wider on the side, maybe a little bit taller, you know, and everything updates, right? Maybe not so much. Let's take it down just a little. And, well, we can move this down a little. So you can play around with it to wherever you want it, right? And then I'll just say that's good. Okay. And now I'll just get rid of that surface. We could keep that surface, but it's the curve that I really want for the most part. Now what we can do is we can take this one here. Oh, we need to set our C-plane back, right? Change our view, and we'll just go to restore viewports. And it'll take everything back to where it was. It'll reset everything, right? And we'll give it some shading. So this one here, we'll select it. We'll grab that gumball and drag it in so that it goes inside our rail there. Now this one, we want to drag that one in, but again, we're back to that same position, right? So we probably should have went ahead and did that before I did all this other stuff. So we'll just go back, go to our surface, go to our planar, go to C-plane, P-L-A-N, enter, go to surface, and select that surface, and then with that point still activated, there we go. Now that's there, so we can grab that surface and we can just grab that and drag that in there like that. Because since that was a surface, it closed off. And this one here did not, because it was not a surface, it was a curve, but we can just go in there. And the reason, a lot of times with the Gumball and Rhino 8, which is in the 3.6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you can just make that a solid surface by using the Gumball. Now let's change these to our cutters, just so that we know that they're going to be cutters. Keep everything organized. And we have this over here, which is really not, we already joined it together. We probably should have Boolean difference that. I should have took a look at it. But we can fix that. I don't know if you want to stick around to see that though. But anyway, we can take this one, we can go to transform, we can go to mirror, and we can go to our X direction, not our Y, and click on that. So now we have one over the other side. This one we do a little bit differently. Go to our mirror, go to XY direction, go to multi, so it selects all those out there. Now we can take this, or we can go to solids, go to Boolean difference here, and click all our cutters, and then hit enter, and there we go. There's all our cutters, right? So we'll take all these, turn them to gray, and we'll take that yellow one here. Just the surface is all I want. Turn it to gray. and we'll turn all those gray off. Go ahead and grab all my yellow there, turn it to gray as well. So now we have a lighter weight pendant. So we can come up here, grab our cutters, put our cutters on there. I'm not going to mess around with that. I'm just going to go ahead and accept it. We'll just go ahead and Boolean difference, right click, and right click, and then hide those stones. So now we have those cutouts and all those cutouts, and we have a little, that looks pretty thin on the bottom there. What did I do? Moved it around maybe. Let's go back to that. Not our mirror, it's our Boolean. Our first Boolean. Let's see. Where's our first Boolean over here? Boolean right here. Oh, did I Boolean right here? Let's see which one this is. Show. That's that original one there. That's not what I want, so hide. Oh, this is it. Cat. Show. Okay. Oh, it went straight down. Okay, so we'll need to redo this, right? So let's see. There's our cap. I think I need that curve because it's based off that curve. So let's turn on our curves. That curve there, it doesn't matter because I hold down shift and make it smaller. There we go. And then right click. Oh, go ahead and grab all that, turn it to gray, and hide it. There we go. Now we have a much thicker base there. So everything's pretty much tied together. I don't think we've broken any. Oh, we did that loft. We broke history when we did that loft. So maybe our stone won't update. Let's try. Let's grab this. Go here. I'm pretty sure that it will not. So if I go to Princess Cut, yeah, it won't. That loft that I did when that broke our history. But there you go. There's a real quick way. And you can soften those up just like we did last time by going to fillet edge, selecting all those little edges there, right? Preview set it yes, right click, and you can get a nice little softer look. You can select them all at one time and do it. I'll just do this front part here, so that it gives us a little bit softer look. Select it. We've got a closed poly surface, and all you have to do now is Boolean union those together. Just select this, right click, wait for those, and then right click to bring back the command. Select your poly surface with your prongs attached, and then right click, and then select your head, and then right click. And then right click, and we'll go ahead, and that's not the one we want. This is the one we want. We'll hide this one. We'll select all green, turn to gray, and bring back, and check. Good to go. All ready for a spruing up. Going to our manufacturing and putting sprues on it. So that's kind of this one here. Just a real quick way of laying out and all the adjustments on the halo. And ooh, that does not look good on that one. I can fix that, but I won't do it for you right now. I won't take up your time, but just make that that blend a little bit thinner, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, well, here we'll do it over on this side. So a blend edge. This one, and then preview yes. And I should have noticed that, but we can set all, and we can just do like a 0.1 and see what that looks like. It's still a little bit there. Set all. We can put handles on it, add a handle. Let's do a 0.5. Ooh, oh, 0.5. Yeah, that's much deeper. Really, you could just take it. I mean, if at this point, when you do the blend, you're breaking history anyway. So you could take it, you could explode it. Select that surface, delete it, select that surface, delete it, delete, 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 delete. So we just have that surface, right? And we can go to here. Oh, I got it right here now. Dupe edge, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. Just select those. Right click, join. This is kind of like a bonus thing, how to go in there and fix things. And then go back to our dupe. Select this one. There. 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 Right click to accept that. Join. So we have this joint, we have this joint, we have this joint, and we have this joint, right? But we need something right in there because it's probably not going to. I don't think it will, because it comes into a point there. But we'll try it. We'll take this one and this one, because we can always go back real quick, and this one and this one. And we'll join those together so that it gives us that one now, and it gives us, these did not join, so let's make sure we join those. Yeah, okay. And we have this one here, here. So we can use those. We have a rail here, we have a rail here, but it comes to a point, so I'm not sure it's going to flow very well, but we'll find out. Surface, sweep 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we got a little bit of a indentation. Let's go to wireframe. The main thing is you want to make sure that there's nothing overlapping, and there's really not. So we don't need all that. So just go here, 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 and then accept it. And then we'll take all green and join everything back together. And give it some shading and check it. Close poly surface. So that's how you can fix that pretty easily. Plus it gives a nice little heart indentation there. I kind of like that better than I like this. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so you can, explode it, delete those surfaces, dupe the borders, and use the rails as a use the rails that you duped to create a surface. So like Boolean difference, yeah, you can actually use that rail right there if you wanted to. Oh, I deleted one I did not want. You want to get rid of this one, and this one. Keep that one, and you can use this one right here to sweep that by duping this, duping that, duping that, duping that, to a 2-rail sweep. And that'll give you that point right on there. Pretty cool, huh? But there you go. Hopefully this helps. And if it does, please go ahead, leave a like, a comment, and look forward to you seeing you. We'll talk about Halo and Halo designs, and because there's tons of different ways to do these halos, right? Most halos you see will just have the top part, and then they'll be attached with the sides here, right? And this top will be open, or they'll have little pieces of metal, maybe with gemstones or something in it, going down to attach at a base, which we'll talk about in the next video perhaps. So thanks for watching, good designing, and see you in the next video.